sparks a push for government's Golden Yoke program. Tonight, as imported costs soar, BAIC warns local producers must act now to ramp up domestic supply or risk a major shortage. Also, help for Haiti presses on. The National Security Chief pledges Bahamian support for the multinational police mission to quell gang violence, even after Washington cut millions of dollars in funding. Plus, tourist arrivals break 10 million. We'll tell you the new plan, targeting even bigger gains as officials say last year's record just the start. Then in our news at 7:30, a judge has ruled that Precious Thompson Curry's claim against police must go to trial, despite an official apology after she was shot by an officer pursuing a suspect. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. Another stabbing at the Department of Corrections. This time, a fight between two inmates Wednesday ended when one stabbed the other with a blunt object. Authorities aren't sharing much details, but police confirmed the incident and that the victim's injuries aren't life-threatening. They say he's now in stable condition in hospital. This latest violence comes less than a week after a 60-year-old inmate was fatally stabbed in maximum security during a routine waste disposal under the supervision of prison guards. Coming up in our news at 7:30, National Security Minister Wayne Munro shares why he believes these violent incidents keep happening at the prison. All right, if you're feeling the pinch from rising egg prices, you might want to look a little closer to home. A bird flu outbreak in the U.S. driving up the cost of imported eggs, and that's sparking new interest in the Golden Yoke project launched 2 years ago. Its goal, to produce enough eggs to ease our own reliance on imports. Marlena Leonard spoke with the Agricultural and Industrial Corporation's chairman, who says buying local is key.
Absolutely buy Bahamian, whether it's your fruit and vegetables, whether it's your eggs, you name it, whatever it is that is grown here locally or produced here locally, I encourage all Bahamians to buy local.
It's a practice many Bahamians have taken more seriously in recent days as the price of eggs have skyrocketed. And thanks to a highly contagious bird flu sweeping the U.S. poultry supply, those prices in the United States are expected to increase more than 20% in the coming year. With that in mind, many are looking for updates on the $15 million Golden Yoke project, aiming to secure 100% local egg production. The BAIC chairman gave this update.
There are 4 more houses that are being imported currently as we speak. 3 houses are currently on island. And so we are making good progress at present. The land has been cleared, and we expect to make some progress on getting this project up and running in short order.
In the meantime, we've highlighted how local Bahamian egg producers and school agriculture programs have stepped in to provide reasonably priced eggs for Bahamians. It's something Pickstock says we should carry forward as a general rule when shopping.
The motto is buy Bahamian, buy Bahamian, buy Bahamian, buy Bahamian. We have local producers here. Again, it's an opportunity to scale up. And so, that's where the opportunity lies. In scaling up, but we do recognize that, they do need some help. Local farmers do need some help. Local egg producers do need help, and that, as a government, we are prepared to help local farmers, and we are helping local farmers to scale up and local egg producers.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
All right, thanks for that, Marlena. Despite a U.S. freeze on over $13 million in Haitian security aid, National Security Minister Wayne Munro says international support is still on track. Speaking on the sidelines of a church event Wednesday, he noted that while the U.S. is a key donor, countries like Japan and South Korea remain committed to the Kenya-led security mission. Munro adds the Bahamas also still playing its part, with Defense Force officers deployed to provide maritime security as Haiti faces worsening political and social unrest.
HMBS Bahamas, with a total crew complement of in excess of 50 Marines from the squadron and commander squadron departments are doing their work off Haiti, enforcing maritime security. We have to be very mindful. If Haiti degenerates, you can have an outflow of millions of Haitians coming in this direction. That creates, as the Prime Minister describes it, an existential threat to a country of 400,000 people.
Monroe also addressing the issue of potential drug trafficking if the situation in Haiti worsens.
The Dominican Republic has said that if Haiti collapses, you will have an upswing in drug trafficking, which will be directed north, and migrant outflows, which will be directed north. And I concur with the assessment of the people in the Dominican Republic that it's in all of our interests that we bring stability to Haiti.
And on another issue, Monroe responding to a recent statement from the Police Staff Association regarding insurance coverage. The association claims government owes Kalina Insurance over $100 million, a debt that has been outstanding for some time. They allege this unpaid debt has led to threats of policy cancellation, which could impact the safety and security of police officers. But in response, the minister clarified the insurance policy remains active and that officers and their families are fully covered with no lapses in coverage. Economic Affairs Minister Michael Alcides also chiming in. He says no evidence supports the claim of the debt of over $100 million and that no such debt exists with Kalina. The Bahamas National Repatriations Committee calling on the Davis administration to rid the country of colonial symbols and take a stand on repatriations at the next CARICOM heads of government meeting later this month. In a scathing press release issued by BNRC President Dr. Nyambi Hall Campbell-Dean, the group listed several calls to action. The first was calling for the expunging of a record for a particular individual. That individual damaged controversial explorer Christopher Columbus's monument 3 years ago. After pleading guilty, he was ordered to pay fines and compensation totaling more than $7,000 in order to avoid jail time. Now, the BNRC says his actions should be considered part of a broader movement to decolonize the Bahamas. The committee also asking for an official review of statutes, public buildings, and currency that still bears the Queen's face. When it comes to the upcoming CARICOM meeting in Barbados from February 19th to 21st, the committee noted reparations will be on the agenda. The statement said the Bahamas should not sidestep the issue while standing among nations actively addressing theirs. And the country experienced some significant growth in the tourism sector last year, breaking previous tourist arrival numbers. The numbers topping the 10 million mark, and officials hoping to do even better this year with the launch of its 2025 strategic plan. Joshua Williams has this.
A record-breaking year for the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, as officials say we've seen the most air and sea arrivals since 2023.
It's another year of success for tourism as the country saw a record-breaking 11.2 million visitors coming to our shores. The number surpasses the previous year of over 9 million visitors, a 16.2% increase and a 54.7% increase when compared to numbers in 2019. Of this total, foreign air arrivals exceeded 1.72 million, equaling that in 2023 with a 8.7% increase in Grand Bahama and 11.9% increase in Abaco. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation Chester Cooper says the results are a testament to our nation being a premier destination despite the challenges. December was also the best month for arrivals, accounting for 1.15 million visitors.
The above results are posted notwithstanding the interruptions of Hurricane Milton, Oscar, and the USA elections. We point out further that the limited capacity in room inventory further dampens the trajectory of growth in air arrivals.
When it comes to cruise passengers, the Bahamas ranked number 1 in the region and Latin America in terms of total economic benefit, according to the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association.
We estimate it now to be in the $130 per passenger region on average.
and I think the number for stopover is in the region of 2,800 per passenger per guest.
As for the Family Islands, there's been moderate growth.
They are constrained in some cases by lack of room capacity, and also in some cases by lack of connectivity.
When it comes to the ministry's 2025 strategic plan, $12 million is being spent on that initiative. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh. We've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Kendino, and a happy hump day, everybody. Much the same as we had last evening. Temperatures in the mid-70s, 75 degrees outside our studios right now with a few clouds. We have a bit of a breeze out there, east-northeast winds at 15 miles per hour. Your feels-like temperature is at 74. Temperatures right now around the Family Islands, 74 in Freeport, 73 in Marsh, Harbor, Abaco. We pick up a string of 75s, Allenstown, Bimini, Nicholstown, Andros, Great Harbor Key, and over in Governor's Harbor. Here in the capital, we are 75 degrees as well. 76 in Kemps Bay, 76 also in Deadman's Key. We pick up 75 in Georgetown, 74s in Arthurstown, Cat Island, and Cuban Towns in Salvador, and into the southeast Bahamas, 77 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Matthewtown, Inago, and Providenciales, the Turks and Caicos Islands, and 76s, Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, at Delectable Bay, Acklands, and in Abrahams Bay. All 76 at this hour. Satellite radar composite, not much to talk about. This high pressure system is with us. It's going to stay with us. We have a dry air mass in place. Tighter pressure gradient across the central and southeast Bahamas. So we're seeing some breezy conditions down there. That will continue to remain the same as this ridge of high pressure is going to be slow to move out. Look for some warm temperatures and very little in terms of any rainfall expected. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, the BAISS basketball season heads into the sudden death playoffs. We'll tell you who advanced on night one.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinut. Let's do show. The BAISS basketball playoffs got underway yesterday at the Kendall Isaac Gymnasium, and the 2 versus 3 matchups were just as closely contested as you'd expect. In the senior boys division, the Queens College Comets rallied in the fourth quarter to pull away from the Prince William Falcons for a 67-62 win. In senior girls, the St. John's College Giants had the only lopsided win of the night with a 40-22 win over the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine. In the junior girls division, the C.W. Saunders Cougars advanced with a 43-36 win over the Big Red Machine. Alyssa Bain led the Cougars with a game-high 18 points, and Layla Leonard scored 13. And finally, in the junior boys division, the Prince William Falcons defeated C.W. Saunders 36-33.
AJ Stowe and the 16th-ranked Kansas Jayhawks protected home court and put the clamps on defensively to upset the 8th-ranked team in the country. Stowe finished with 8 points in the Jayhawks' 69-52 win over the Iowa State Cyclones at the Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence, Kansas. He shot 2 from 5 from the three-point range and added 3 rebounds in 17 minutes.
A record-setting weekend for Bahamian student athletes led to conference and national recognition for those performances. Topping that list was the new women's indoor long jump national record holder, Anthea Charlton. The Florida Gators junior recorded the world-leading mark of 6.98 meters at the Razorback Invitational, and that earned her the SEC Women's Athlete of the Week and the USTF CCCA National Athlete of the Week. Louisiana Tech senior Oscar Smith was named the Conference USA Men's Track Athlete of the Week. In Division II, the Bahamian duo for the Southwest Baptist Bearcats have been rewriting the program's record books. Colonique Farrington and Stephanie Dean were both named Great Lakes Valley Conference Indoor Track and Field Athletes of the Week after consecutive meets. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as Donald Trump announces a U.S. plan to take over Gaza and relocate Palestinians. Plus, dash cam footage captures smoke and debris moments after takeoff as a plane carrying 6, including a child, goes down in Philadelphia. And El Salvador offers to lock up America's most dangerous criminals for a fee. The details when our news returns.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. United States President Donald Trump said Tuesday the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip after relocating Palestinians to neighboring countries. Trump said he wants to turn Gaza into, quote, the Riviera of the Middle East, end quote, calling it a potential economic powerhouse. Standing alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Trump labeled the current situation a demolition site and promised job creation and removal of dangerous weapons. The move would upend decades of U.S. policy on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
Big changes at Guantanamo Bay as the first U.S. military plane carrying detained migrants arrived in Cuba on Tuesday. Photos showed the migrants handcuffed and escorted by U.S. soldiers boarding the aircraft. President Trump wants the Pentagon and Homeland Security to expand the detention facility there to hold more than 30,000 people. Officials confirmed this initial flight carried about 9 or 10 migrants at an estimated cost of nearly $5,000 per person. Homeland Security hasn't said if women, children, or families might be housed at Guantanamo in the future. El Salvador says it is willing to house dangerous American criminals, even U.S. citizens, in a mega jail in exchange for a fee. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio hailed the move as an unprecedented act of friendship after a recent visit. The newly built maximum security jail is at the center of government's drive to lock up and punish the most violent gang members. It says the jail can hold up to 40,000 inmates. Meanwhile, Rubio demanded immediate changes to limit China's influence over the Panama Canal, warning Panama on Sunday it must act or face U.S. measures under a decades-old treaty. President Jose Raul Mulino pledged to end the 2017 deal with China's Belt and Road Initiative, calling it a great step forward. But Panamanians are protesting President Trump's vow to retake the canal, recalling the 1989 U.S. invasion. They insist the waterway has belonged to Panama since 1999, rejecting claims that Chinese investments threaten U.S. security. Red Cross and civil protection teams buried 120 decomposing bodies in Goma on Monday, easing pressure on jam-packed morgues 1 week after M23 rebels seized eastern Congo's largest city. Under rebel watch, workers in protective gear lowered body bags into fresh graves. Congo's health ministry reports 773 people killed and 2,800 wounded in and around Goma. The conflict has displaced around 500,000 people, while the Congolese government has called for sanctions against Rwanda over its alleged support of M23. And dramatic footage shows a medevac plane crashing in Philadelphia on Friday. The video captures emergency responders, debris as you can see there, and thick billows of smoke immediately after takeoff. Reuters says it confirmed the location and the time using nearby business signs and dash cam timestamps. The plane, operated by Jet Rescue Air Ambulance, was carrying 6 people, including a child, being returned to Tijuana for treatment. The company says no survivors have been confirmed yet. The incident comes on the heels of last week's deadly collision over Washington, D.C. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was February 5th. Then in our news at 7:30, a prison stabbing suspect could face the death penalty, according to the National Security Chief. We are learning more details about the incident. Plus, we'll tell you the UB cyber attack that has halted online classes and forced cash-only campus transactions. Labs and Wi-Fi are down, and now students speaking out about the impact when our news returns.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport.
Unleash resilience. Secure the digital future. Navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats. The future will be secured. Presenting the Alive Business Cybersecurity Conference. Securing
On this day in Bahamian history in 1717, King George I of Great Britain appointed Woodes Rogers as the royal governor and captain general of the Bahama Islands. Rogers' mission was to eliminate piracy from the colony and institute a robust and capable government. In 1865, Edward Nichols died in London, England. Nichols, an Anglo-Irish soldier, played a significant role in the War of 1812, particularly in Spanish Florida. The Historical Society notes that during his service, he actively recruited Africans and Native American tribes to join the conflict against the Americans. Following the war, some of the soldiers who had fought under Nichols sought refuge in the Bahamas. In honor of his contributions, they established the settlement of Nicholstown on Andros Island and named it in his honor. Then between February 4th and 5th in 1895, the American steamship Cienfuegos sank off Harbor Island, Eleuthera, after running aground on the Devil's Backbone during its journey from Santiago, Cuba to New Providence. Thankfully, all passengers and crew were rescued by Bahamians. The ship, carrying over 1,100 tons of cargo and 15 bags of mail, now lies on the seafloor, offering a dive site near Eleuthera. And finally, in 1942, Dr. Hervis Lamont Bain was born in Nassau. He was an artist, theologian, and cultural icon, best known as the designer of the Bahamian flag and coat of arms. Dr. Bain died on October 25, 2015. He was 73. All right, students from 6 schools across the country getting a head start on learning how to manage their finances. RBC Royal Bank launching the Young Leaders Program at the National Trading Agency on Wednesday morning. The theme of the program, Sustainable Future. RBC Senior Regional Enablement Coach Marcus Hutchinson says the bank is a big fan of supporting youth education, skills development, and environmental sustainability. He says ultimately the goal is to ensure they make a positive contribution to their communities.
With this empowerment, they will be required to envision a project, develop a pitch, prepare a written proposal, and present to a panel of judges. Upon completion of the program, students will acquire a set of skills that have a project proposal that has gone through the rigor of corporate standards.
All right, if you want to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now, Talia Hall. She's got the latest headlines. Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day. Halfway there. Can't wait to say TGIF. You know that's my thing.
You got it.
All right, well, coming
Friday
up.
in my mind.
Thanks so much, Ken. Coming up, we take a closer look at the Grand Bahama Port Authority's Customer Relations Department. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our News Live at 7:30, a negligence lawsuit against the Royal Bahamas Police Force is headed to trial. We have details from the courtroom, plus a weekend stabbing at the Bahamas Department of Correction has left one inmate dead, and the suspect could face capital punishment. National Security Minister Wayne Munro confirms the investigation is ongoing. Also, the Grand Lucayan Hotel remains costly for government, around $1 million per month. Prime Minister Philip Davis says the hotel sale is nearing completion. And later, the University of the Bahamas student government president is speaking out following a hacking incident that caused disruptions. He's calling for stronger security protocols. The story when our News at 7:30 returns.
Candino Nodes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Once I had a gal, she called me pain. Left me in the cold and pouring rain. So I decided to put her down. I took a trip to Point Town.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Embrace technology and the digital.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Wendy's and Coca-Cola is ready to give you a summer of fun with over $20,000 in cash and prizes. Upgrade your premium lunch combo to a medium or a large, or purchase a large salad with a Coke for a chance to win amazing prizes like a 50-inch TV and soundbar, a staycation at Comfort Suites, or a $3,000 Going Places travel voucher. Enter online at Wendy's Bahamas Facebook page for a chance to win.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. A negligence lawsuit against the police force will go to trial. A judge has ruled Precious Thomas Curry was shot by a policeman in her yard at Amos Ferguson Street on June 21, 2021. The officer had fired at a fleeing suspect after he allegedly pointed a gun at him. Attorney Christina Galanos argued that since the Commissioner of Police had apologized to Thompson Curry about the incident, the issue of liability had been proven. However, Senior Justice Deborah Fraser found that these were distinct issues and the claim for negligence would be determined at trial. Responsible for the fatal stabbing at Bahamas Department of Corrections over the weekend could face capital punishment. That's according to National Security Minister Wayne Monroe. The accused, whose identity is being withheld, allegedly stabbed 60-year-old Brody Fritz during an early morning altercation at the correctional facility on Saturday. Authorities say the confrontation occurred in the maximum security during a routine disposal of waste, a task still done manually at the aging facility.
The perpetrator was identified. I would expect that he will face homicide charges, bearing in mind the profile of it and of him. I'm not the DPP. The DPP is an independent individual, but to my legal mind, it's a case that would warrant him being charged with capital murder. But that is actually the decision of the DPP, who is independent. I cannot tell her what to do. But that's my view of it. And once you're charged with homicide, there is no charge greater than that.
The National Security Minister explained that these violent incidents, while concerning, stem from an overcrowded and strict facility that lacks focus on rehabilitation.
With a housing facility built in the 1950s to house 200 to 300 people, that is why this administration has been very kinetic in our efforts to bring about a new facility. The fact of the matter is there is no indoor lavatories in maximum security. Persons must use slop buckets. Those slop buckets must be emptied every morning. That's the fact. Unless and until we get the new high, medium security facility, that will continue every day.
While government says they're still bearing the cost of keeping the Grand Lucayan Hotel operational on that island, over the weekend, Prime Minister Philip Davis announced at a PLP youth conclave that they were in the final stages of closing the deal with a buyer for the hotel within 2 weeks or so. Speaking at this morning's annual tourism statistics presentation, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper maintains the hotel costs about $1 million per month to keep it operational.
This maintains the resort. A lot of it is fixed costs that we would need to pay whether the resort is open or closed. For example, keeping the air condition running to ensure that the quality of the property is maintained. And of course, we maintain the employment of more than 200 Bahamians at the moment, which is a significant economic benefit for the people and the island of Grand Bahama.
Since the announcement, the Prime Minister has remained tight-lipped on the details of the potential deal. Cooper also maintaining that stance, saying, quote, until there's money in the bank, end quote, he won't have much to say.
Overall, the Grand Lucayan Resort is an important plank. It's an important infrastructure to the overall economy of Grand Bahama. It supports the local economy as well through meetings, for conventions, for entertainment, for weddings and parties, etc.
Officials from the Ministry of Tourism, Investment and Aviation says they are confident in local aviation agencies and the national flag carrier Bahamas Air safety record. This after that tragic accident between an American Airlines flight and a Black Hawk military helicopter that claimed the lives of 67 individuals in Washington, D.C. Should a disaster like that ever occur in the Bahamas, Tourism Minister Chester Cooper is confident that those in charge of our airspace are more than capable of handling.
A Civil Aviation Authority of the Bahamas that has overall regulatory mandate, BANZA, that regulates the air traffic controls, and of course the Airport Authority that manages airports, and NAD, and we're going to talk airports some other time, but suffice to say, all of these pieces work together. Dr. Roma, who is the Director of Aviation, has active engagements with all of the stakeholders in this space to ensure that we understand the mission. We're putting safety first.
With a good number of our visitors coming to the Bahamas via American Airlines, the tourism minister says it's important we support them during this time.
We still send our thoughts and prayers out to persons who have overall been impacted as it relates to the American Airlines incident in D.C. They are an important partner to us, the American Airlines family. We reached out to them directly. We offered our thoughts and prayers to them and to all of the passengers and their families that were impacted as a result of the incident.
All right, well, the University of the Bahamas has been navigating a ransomware attack on its network. It's disrupted online classes and forced the school to accept only cash at its on-campus stores. And that's not all. The university releasing a statement saying they believe personal information may have also been accessed. Computer labs and the Wi-Fi network has been temporarily suspended. The attack was first detected on Sunday, but how is it impacting students? President of UB's Student Government Association, Shante Deal, had this to say.
We were advised to sign out of all platforms, any device that we have associated with or that automatically connect to any of the platforms that uses the UB domain, to sign out of those. And I would just say to the students to utilize this time, utilize this extended period that you have to complete assignments.
Isaac Barr is also a member of the Student Government Association. He tells us there are pros and cons to the system shutdown.
The pressure is on in certain areas, especially face-to-face learning now, because a lot of the teachers and faculty would have realized that students are not being able to submit assignments virtually, so they are now expecting you to submit it in person. So it's been a fluster for most students, including myself, in that regard, but I know that the faculty are doing the only thing that they can in order to get assignments done, because at the end we have to get our degree somehow.
Well, cool but lovely weather conditions we've been having across the chain of islands this week, but will things stay the same as we move closer to the weekend? Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Italian. Welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions outside our studios. 75 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds on the outside. East-northeast winds at 15 miles per hour. Your feels-like temperature is at 74. Satellite radar composite, quiet across area. Ridge of high pressure remains in charge and will continue to dominate our weather throughout the night and into tomorrow. And looks as though this high pressure is going to stay with us for the remainder of the week, so we're not going to see much in terms of any significant weather during that time frame. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, newly elected members of the City of Freeport Council were sworn in today during an official ceremony. The event marks the beginning of their new term in local government. We have the latest. Also, voters in Polling Division 13 in West Grand Bahama will head back to the polls next Tuesday for a runoff election. The initial vote ended in a tie. The returning officer explains more details on what voters can expect. And later, in tonight's City in Focus segment, we continue our conversation with the Grand Bahama Port Authority's Customer Relations Manager, who outlines key benefits available to licensees. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here, and you can see I'm filming new episodes here in one of the family islands, the one that has the pink snow. If you missed last season, you can catch it right now on our TV, Cable Bahamas, channel 212, with Dorian Missick and Simone Missick, Gibton. We had AJR and Cuba. So catch the repeats of the Charlie Bahama show, and just rest assured, I'm out here working hard for the new season.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me, Italia Hall, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
A swearing-in ceremony for newly elected City of Freeport District councilors was held this afternoon. On the island of Grand Bahama, the councilors officially took their oath of office, securing their roles following the 2025 local government elections held last month. The ceremony marked the beginning of a new term for these local leaders as they pledged their commitment to serving the residents of Freeport. Among those taking the oath were Chief Councilor Kendall Culmer, Councilor Precious Prosper, and Deputy Chief Councilor Bernard Grant.
One of the things we want to do is the backyard farming in Marco City and the wider extension of the city of Freeport to help the elderly, the disabled, the single mothers. We also want to get the EOC up and running functionally for the upcoming hurricane season. And I'm firstly going to meet with all of the other councilors and find out what is it that they promised their constituents and see how best we can help everybody throughout the city of Freeport.
I have a few personal initiatives, one being after-school activities for the kids. We have a lot of kids doing their BJCs and their BGCSEs. A lot of the classes are paid classes. So one of the things on the table for me is to get some support from the teaching community to assist kids with preparing them for these external exams, just so we can have better grades at the end of the year.
Deputy Chief Councilor Bernard Grant also shared his plans.
I have focused mainly on youth involvement and participation within our communities, and this term tends to be no different. I want to extend my outreach inside our community, asking residents to continue to partnership with the City of Freeport Council. Over the years, there has been a slow demand for residents taking part, and so we wanted to uphold and have more frequent community meetings and using our parks. Our parks tend to just be a time of playing basketball and sports, but we want to bring to community this term and refocus what local government truly is within our communities.
All right, congrats to them. Well, as we would have mentioned earlier last month, residents throughout Grand Bahama and the Family Islands headed to the polls for local government elections. But in West Grand Bahama's polling division number 13, the election ended in a tie. As a result, a runoff election will be held next Tuesday at Mount Zion Baptist Church in Russelltown, 8 Mile Rock. That's the community center. The runoff is only for polling division number 13 and involves the two candidates tied in the initial vote. Registered voters from that division will be allowed to cast their ballots between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. Returning officer and administrator Leonard Dames explains what will happen next.
After the election on next week, the winner will join the other persons in the 8 Mile Rock East, and amongst themselves, they will elect their chairman, deputy chair, and the required amount of persons to go to council. As a result, the total number of persons going to council will be 9. At that time, that is when the councillors amongst themselves will elect a chief councillor and a deputy chief councillor.
All right, during tonight's City in Focus segment, we continue our sit-down with the Grand Bahama Port Authority's Customer Relations Manager, who shares some of the key benefits available to licensees of the GBPA. Let's take a look.
As a licensee of GBPA, you're also entitled to something that's called a customs bond.
And that's just one of the benefits for licensees. Customer Relations Manager of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Nicole Colebrook, explains how customs bonds work and which categories of licensees qualify for them.
Yes, we realize that everyone may not require a customs bond. However, for an example, for service businesses like construction, anyone who has a manufacturing facility, your license then, along with your customs bond, affords you the opportunity to bring in all of your building materials, fixtures, fittings, anything that you need for the ongoing concerns of your business. You can bring those in duty-free. As well as licensees or employees of licensees can build their home duty exempt.
Under the customs bonds, licensees can also receive duty-free vehicles and fuel, providing significant savings and convenience. Additionally, the GBPA offers grant programs to support its licensees. Colebrook highlights how they are intentional about exposing businesses to valuable opportunities and ensuring they have the resources they need to thrive. She adds the goal is to always help licensees stay in business and grow.
We realize that there are many people who cannot pay their bills in full. So management decided that, to find a way to assist them, we issued temporary certificates of good standing. So every month you would actually pay in installments and you'll be issued a temporary certificate of good standing. Or there may be ways where you may not have been a good steward with paying your license fee, and we've assisted over the years.
Coming up in sports, we've got BAISS basketball action and Bahamian student athletes recognized for a record-breaking weekend.
And it's been cool and somewhat breezy lately, but will this type of weather stick around for the rest of the week? Greg is back with your extended forecast when our news continues.
Unleash resilience. Secure the digital future. Navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats. The future will be secured. Presenting the Alive Business Cybersecurity Conference. Securing the future. Navigating cyber challenges in business. Thursday, February 20th, 2025. Atlantis, Paradise Island. Register today. This is how we unleash resilience. This is how we create innovation. Together, let's secure the digital future.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. The BAISS basketball playoffs got underway yesterday at the Kendall Isaac Gymnasium, and the 2 versus 3 matchups were just as closely contested as you'd expect. In the senior boys division, the Queens College Comets rallied in the fourth quarter to pull away from the Prince William Falcons for a 67-62 win. Talon Higgs scored 10 of his 17 points in the fourth quarter as the Comets closed the game on an 8-2 run, and Tashawn Taylor led QC with 22 points. Trevon Clark led the Falcons with a game-high 27. In senior girls, the St. John's College Giants had the only lopsided win of the night with a 40-22 win over the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine. Lebronique Demerit scored 12 to lead the Giants, while Keitra Poitier scored 10. In the junior girls division, the C.W. Saunders Cougars advanced with a 43-36 win over the Big Red Machine. Alyssa Bain led the Cougars with a game-high 18 points, and Layla Leonard scored 13. Maria Pickstock led the Big Red Machine with 17 points. And finally, in the junior boys division, the Prince William Falcons defeated C.W. Saunders 36-33. Elijah Pierre scored 21 to lead the Falcons. The playoffs continue tonight at the Kendall Isaacs Gym with 1 versus 4 matchups in all divisions.
AJ Storr and the 16th ranked Kansas Jayhawks protected home court and put the clamps on defensively to upset the 8th ranked team in the country. Storr finished with 8 points in the Jayhawks' 69-52 win over the Iowa State Cyclones at the Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence, Kansas. He shot 2 from 5 from the 3-point range and added 3 rebounds in 17 minutes. The Jayhawks limited the Cyclones to just 19 points in the first half, en route to the lowest point total allowed to an AP Top 10 team by Kansas since 1982. The Kansas Jayhawks improved to 16-6, 7-4 in the Big 12, and head to an in-state rival Saturday against Kansas State.
The whole thing, being patient, just being in the moment, just being ready to play basketball when I get out there, really just doing anything to help my team win and just keeping a positive mindset.
A record-setting weekend for Bahamian student athletes led to conference and national recognition for those performances. Topping that list was the new women's indoor long jump national record holder, Anthea Charlton. The Florida Gators junior recorded the world-leading mark of 6.98 meters at the Razorback Invitational, and that earned her the SEC Women's Athlete of the Week and the USTF CCCA National Athlete of the Week. Louisiana Tech senior Oscar Smith was named the Conference USA Men's Track Athlete of the Week. He won the 60-meter hurdles at the Stan Scott Invite Multi on Saturday after posting a time of 7.82 seconds, the fastest time in CUSA and the 10th fastest time in the NCAA D1 South Central region. In Division II, the Bahamian duo for the Southwest Baptist Bearcats have been rewriting the program's record books. Colonique Farrington and Stephanie Dean were both named Great Lakes Valley Conference Indoor Track and Field Athletes of the Week after consecutive meets. At the UCM Invite, Dean won the 60 meters in 7.57 seconds, third in the conference, and also finished first in the 200 meters in 24.85 seconds, second ranked in the conference. The previous week, Farrington won the 200 meters with an NCAA provisional time of 24.06 seconds, ranked first in the conference, third in all of NCAA Division II. She also finished third in the 60 meters in 7.65 seconds. That'll do it for Our Sports. This is 10YS. BAISS basketball means it's time for me to rock the St. John shirt again.
Do you think St. Andrews or Life Key will ever make the playoffs in basketball?
Talk to your people, John. Talk to your people. Back to the studio.
When our news comes back from the break, fairly cool weather conditions dominate the forecast this week. But what type of temperatures will we see as we move closer to the weekend? Greg is back with your weather details when our news returns. Stay with us.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
It's your boy Charlie Bahama here, and you can see I'm filming new episodes here in one of the family islands, the one that has the pink snow.
This is our news. Welcome back. We are in that rinse and repeat cycle with our weather. Nothing much happening out there. Ridge of high pressure remains in charge, generating some dry conditions. A little bit of a tighter pressure gradient across the central and southeast Bahamas, so we're seeing some breezy conditions down there, so it's going to be making boating and beaching a little bit of a challenge, but the northwest Bahamas enjoying some pretty nice weather and not much in terms of any wind event out there. But mainly along the Atlantic exposures, we're expecting an advisory for most of the island chain because the seas are going to be a little rough on that side. So we're asking you boaters and you beachgoers to exercise caution during that time frame. Future forecasts, nothing happening across the area, quiet conditions, mostly dry. We have some high-level moisture moving across our area in terms of some high-level cirrus, but by Thursday into Friday afternoon, we could see 1 or 2 spotty showers moving across our area as that Atlantic moisture is being picked up by the wind, moving it across us during that time. Boating forecast, northwest Bahamas, caution flag for the Atlantic side. Rip current risk still elevated out there. Easterly winds at 10 to 15 knots, falling light and variable across the northwest Bahamas. Seas 2 to 4 feet, but they will be up to 6 feet along the Atlantic exposures. The low tide is at 7:18 tonight. High tide takes place at 2 a.m. in the morning for the central and southeast Bahamas. Caution flag for the inside of the islands, advisory for the outside on the Atlantic side. Northeast to east winds, 15 to 20 knots. They will be gusting high at times across the southeast Bahamas. Seas running 4 to 6 feet, but they will be building up to 8 feet along Atlantic exposures. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, what are we going to talk about? High pressure, dry air mass, lots of sunshine. Temperatures will remain in the low to mid 80s. Your nighttime temperatures during the night, they will be in the upper 60s to the low 70s. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg, and thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.